Hi everyone, it's Carlton YouTube channel. Welcome back to another video on my channel. And in today's video, I will be previewing our round 8 clash against our arch rivals Carlton. Now, if you are returning Carlton Magpies, welcome, like, comment, share. If you're new to the channel, watching this for the first time, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Now, this is a massive game, and it depends on how I'm feeling. If I'm well enough to go, I'll go. If not, I'll stream the game. But this is 6th versus 10th. Clearly, one thing, and we'll do the last time, both sides met, was Carlton winning by 17 points, and 49-93 to 10-16-76, but even if you go like before that, we won by 28 points as well. So last year was one win each, 13-7-85 to 7-15-57, and that game meant nothing compared to this one, where in Carlton were having a down period. And I do think, because we got off to a really good start and we played really well for probably until the first half. And the second half they kicked, was it 2 goals 5, and we kicked 2 goals 1 in the last quarter. And then realistically, they kick 1 goal 4 and we kick 1 goal 1 as well. So, I do think that because we got the history there, because we tend to play so well, this is a Collingwood team that can really win it. You look at the recent history, it shows you that, we have won 3 of the last 5. And even before that, we've won 4 of the last 6 or 5 of the last 7. So, it is something that genuinely, it is going to be massive, and I really do hope, get to see on what does happen out of this game, because right now, Carlton would be favourites, but you're coming up against a Collingwood team who, for me, had the draw on Anzac Day, it would be a lot more fresh. Carlton coming off a 13-point loss, and they leak defensively too. So we got to remember that they do leak defensively as well. Now, watching them live, I saw what I need to see from them. I really did. Just the way that Geelong set up, that's what we need to do. Now, last week, for us point of view, we didn't start the game off really well. Essendon kicked 6 goals 1. We had 2 goals 6. So we had 8 scoring shots 7. Had we kicked those, it probably would have been a lot better. But comparing to what Geelong Carlton did in the first quarter, 5 goals 2 to 2 goals 8. So again, this is where, for me personally, we got to get off to a good start. I know I said it in what I expect from Collingwood this week as well. It's all about getting off to a good start, because that's going to be the key on how we play. Now, are going to be swings and roundabouts in the game of footy, momentum swings and that sort of thing that will come out of it as well. But I do feel like we need to make sure that we put pressure on Carlton early on in the game, because that's the only way that we're going to really win. So what we need to do is that we need to start really loading up and really being strong at the contest, and even be in the middle as well. We can't afford to start off slow. We're going to have to start off pretty fast as well. But the first thing I will say is our first quarters. Now, our first quarters are crucial to us. Now, We normally, and I think even 2023, like I'm pretty sure we started games off really, really well. And not many people will believe that. But, we actually did. We actually did in that situation where it was the best thing to do, and that was, for me, an easy way, and I think everybody can see that, like, when we play. So when we look at it, right, Geelong had a 7-point lead on us at quarter time, alright, so that was one. We dominated Port Adelaide from the first quarter, so that's number 2. And even when you go round 3, we kicked 2 goals 6 compared to 1 goal straight, so we still got off to a good start. Kicked inaccurately, but that's normal. We got off to a good start, and then we slowed down in the second quarter against Brisbane. So again, that's normally what shouldn't happen. We got off to an even start against the Saints, so the scores were definitely level. And when we played Essendon on Anzac Day, we had 1 goal 4 to 3 goal 2. Okay, but we still found a way to win the game. Same thing against Crows. We didn't start well. We fought back and we won. The same thing for the Sydney game, where we just 3 goals 5 to 1 goal 2. So it does show you exactly what we need to do, even against the Giants. We got off to a good start. So that's why, for me, we need to get off to a good start. Because we can't afford to, again, let Carlton dominate us right from the start as well. And that's, for me, is a must-win game. Even when we play North Melbourne, same thing. Got to get off to a good start. West Coast Eagles, got to get off to a good start. Got to continue to play good football. We can't afford to let teams outrun us in the first quarter. That's why that we need to really be good in that space. Even against Melbourne, we got off to a good start, but then, they restrict us a little bit. So we are a chance to really look forward to in really dominating games right from the start. So we can't afford to kick inaccurately in any of our games, but we also got to make sure that we absolutely dominated, like we have against the Gold Coast Suns as well. And even if we do start off, even if they do kick 1 or 2 goals, let's try and get the momentum back our way as well. And even against Fremantle when we front in that first quarter. So to me, that's going to make a huge difference for us, is the way that we played. So that's probably one way for me to look at. Now, number 2 is, what do we do with Jacob Weedering? I personally would put either Brody Mychek, or you could probably put like a Mason Cox in there. I do think you need a couple tall forwards, but one thing that you need to do with Jacob Weedering is make him accountable. Do a little bit of a block on for each other. Lower your eyes. We need to lower our eyes when we go forward. We need to really go out on the lead. If we're going to kick, at least with Mason Cox, he's too tall compared to Jacob Weedering. And that's going to be the huge difference, in my opinion, on looking at a certain player as well. Now, Jacob Weedering, if you're going to say this, he's 195 centimetres as a key defender. Now, when I look at someone like a Mason Cox, he's over 200 centimetres tall. So he can really perform his role and play up forward as well. Now, do I want him to play in the ruck? I think he might. I do think he might. So you might need someone like a Will Hoskin-Elliott onto him. Mason Cox is 211. But I do think if you have Will Hoskin-Elliott onto him, that's going to make it a very interesting size because he's virtually 186 centimeters. And you can play either defense, forward as well, or you can chuck Hal up forward if you really need to. So that's probably going to be the options that we might go with. That is that we need to have either Mason Cox, Jamie Howe onto him. So therefore, yes, we can have that lead up option and we can take marks, but also with that we need to lower our eyes when we go forward. Stopping Kerner and Mackay. With Mackay, I would have Darcy Moore onto him. I think that would be a better matchup. And Darcy Moore can go with him for pace. And I would have Frampton on Kerner. Now, why I say that is because with Frampton, right, he's tall enough to handle Charlie Kerner. He's that durable to really go with someone like a Charlie Kerner. Charlie Kerner is not 200 centimeters tall, right? He's only 194 centimeters. So you'd be giving, for someone like Billy Frampton, he'll have the height there. He really would. So again, that's where I would say is that I look at that and I go, wow, imagine if we do it. That he can be that player for me personally. And I love Billy Frampton. He's very underrated. He does a really good job. I know sometimes he can get a whipping board, but sometimes people are often, aren't ready to give him some place, and I'm happy to do it. 201 centimeters, 27 years of age, you know what, he can definitely do it as well. So I think for me, that would be the key for us to really stop those two. Also, another thing that I would do is I would have numbers in our defensive 50. So you have Darcy Cameron, Mason Cox coming up and taking intercept marks as well. So that's what I would do in a little bit. And I'll go into my top 5 a little bit later. But I do think that the way that we see, Geelong play last week is that they stopped Carlton from having lead-up options and then went for the bomb kicks. And that's what we need them to do. Slow, long, and high. Therefore, you can take intercept marks. And then you can run it out in defence as well. And that would be the only way that we can really look at it. Now, we will be wearing our Clash kit for this game. So that, again, that's going to be interesting. I hope we don't wear our black and white stripes with black on the back with white shorts. I'm expecting us to wear white and black stripes, mainly a white kit with white shorts. So, therefore, we don't get confused by that. But that's probably the only way we're going to do it. With selection this week, look, I've heard maybe Jordan De Goey may not play. May not play. If he does play, it'll be great. But if he doesn't, and if Tom Mitchell doesn't, I think I would love to see either probably Lockie Sullivan might be that type, or maybe you might get an Ed Allen in for either of those two guys, and that way you can have a bit more speed in that midfield as well. What I do with Harvey Harrison is I'll put him in the team and have someone else as a sub. And when there's the teams come out, I will definitely do a video for it. And even last week as well, like I know that the teams were a bit different compared to other players. I didn't mind Harvey Harrison as a sub. I really didn't mind. Or you could even have Mitchell, but I don't think Mitchell will play this week. I think that if it's a week, then I think that we potentially could rest him, and then obviously have him back for round 9 because, we got West Coast at Marvel, and we got a bit more of a longer break as well for our next game. So, yeah, I definitely do think that we might need a bit of speed. If Lockie Sullivan does come in, um, I have heard, seen people mention it, but I also think with Lockie Sullivan, I've been watching him in the VFL, he does do a good job, so he would be the one that you definitely want to see come in. Whether or not we bring in Kruger as well, that could be interesting because that might help our forward line with Kruger in there, and you can have him on Wiedering, or you can definitely have him on Lewis Young, because I definitely feel like if you go with the three tools, you definitely can do it. Or maybe Will Austin Elliott plays that forward line role, and therefore, you don't have to worry about the defence too much. But because you got Tom DeConey there, if you put Jeremy Howe up forward, then maybe Will Austin Elliott goes back in defence as well. And that way you can stick by that matchup, or it can change. So either way, he wants it back this way. So I do think that that's going to be an option for us. But I am looking forward to this game as well. Now, my top 5 for this week is game plan and tactics. Look, the game plan will be is that we play our attacking brand and we get our pressure up as well. Also, I think the first quarters, I've said this before, I'm going to say it again. We need to get off to a good start. I know plenty of people said it. I've said it in my videos as well, that we must get off to a good start. I've said it in previous videos. We need to really get off to a really good start. When Carlton do get maybe 1 or 2 goals, let's try and stop the momentum a little bit and try and slow them down. Don't allow them to play their attacking game as well. They're very good at clearances. The defences are leaking. So I would, if I were Collingwood, I would have guys like Bobby Hill standing up, Lockie Schultz is another one, Harvey Harrison, Bob McCreary. These sort of guys really need to step up and really start hitting the scoreboard as well. So we can't afford to let Carlton get off to a good start. Gonna have to win the ball out of the middles. So if DeGoey does play, that will be great. But if he doesn't, I do want to see guys like Ed Allen get a go, because that way he's got speed. You can put Nick Dacos in the midfield, maybe Jack Crisp as well. Maybe in the midfield as a bit of spacing you can have. You can put Nick Dacos across our back if you need to, and you can also do maybe Quainer. You can do Noble as well as that running guys that can come in. So it should be very interesting to see what does happen out of that. So that's, for me, the game plan tactics are always going to come in. Number 2, I think for me, this is where I feel like, stopping the Carlton tall forwards. Now, like I said, I have Frampton on Kerno and Darcy Moore on Billy on Darcy Moore on Harry Mackay. If we can restrict those two, because if Harry Mackay gets up the ground, he's gonna try and take marks as well. So I think you're not going to be worried about him too much leading up. Darcy Moore definitely does have the pace that can go up the ground, and then and that way you can have Darcy coming getting back and helping out defence as well, and maybe Jamie Howe and Tom DeConey or whoever we got there that can potentially play. So we do have players that can potentially do play that role. So I don't think you see too many players at all that might get a game. Maybe we're bringing T-Jaff could be a solution for us. That might be the option that we have. But I do think that if we do bring in TJ, do we drop Howell or do we have him as a, for a player that comes in for maybe like a Mitchell, or maybe we have Sullivan, or whoever what we decide, because I do think that the teams that we had for emergencies, Reeve, Sullivan, Markov, I do feel like with Carlton, like they do have speed, like they do have the smaller players there, that can definitely kick goals. But I do think that when you look at the tall forward line that they had, you want to have at least an even tall on top of that, and then therefore that way you can easily handle that as well. But like I said, I think it's good to have some options there. Maybe Markov comes in as a potentially that can be for that space as well. But we'll definitely see on what comes out of that as well. But I want to see us flood out their forward line, make them play slow, make them bomb the ball in, and just stop any holes as possible. And therefore you have, if you're going to have some climbers, have like our guys in there as well, ready to get the ball and get it running, and we'll just use by hand the way that we run our defence. Geelong did it against Carlton, now it's our turn to do it. And that for me would be the best way that we can combat that and really start using it on the scoreboard as well. Number 3, I think for me, it's our forward line. And just taking our chances in front of goal. We need to start doing that. Look, Checkers, he was great for me. He kicked 2 out in the full, which is unlike him. But he did kick 3 goals lead. And I thought he had a good game. I really did. Like, I love Checkers as a player. He needs to keep going. Bobby Hill, I love Bobby Hill. The only thing, and I'm just... I said in the review, I did think that he probably could have passed it off to Lockie Schultz a little bit. I can understand why he went for the dribble kick. And I've got so much respect for those two as well. But I do think that this is our opportunity for us to really take our chances in front of goal, and obviously force Carlton to wide shots towards the boundary line. And therefore, you make it difficult as well. And then don't let them play their attacking game as well. Number 4, I think it's our midfield. Now, we really need to win the centre clearances and obviously just keep that momentum going a little bit and start using our speed. I know that Geelong did stop and Carlton did come back, and that's why Geelong had control and won in the end. But I do think that we need to keep doing that and really look to play our brand of football as well as much as possible with our midfield. And number 5 is just playing well for long enough and playing like 4 quarters of our footy. Now, what I mean for that, there are going to be patches where Carlton might try and kick a couple. Let's try and limit their chances of kicking, 3 or 4 or 5 goals in a quarter. So in the first quarter, if we kick 5 goals 1, for example, and they kick 2 behinds, I take that, but then we need to keep playing that way. We can't afford to stop. We have to, when we get on to a good lead, we need to put them away as well. So that's the only way I feel that we can do that and really see the difference with our game plan as well. So that's to me, like, it's a massive opportunity for us. Any chances that we beat Carlton, I love it. Like, I hate Carlton with a passion. I think some of their fans are particular are like that. Look, Charlie Kerner might be a good player and all that sort of stuff, but look, I just feel like, as much as he's personal, you hate him because he doesn't play for you, but you love him if he was at Collingwood. He's that player where, like, because he gets umpired differently to other players. I know, like, Mason Cox, for example, he gets umpired a lot different to other guys, where he can get held on to and not much goes his way. With Charlie Kerner, when he initiates the hold and he starts that, the umpires want to see that he's grabbing onto an opposition jumper or he started first. That's why, like, in a way, I like to see those touchy ones where they're both holding let go. And that's what I saw in the Geelong Carlton game, where that, and I even said to a best friend of mine as well, I said to him, look, I'm glad that they're not paying that. And that's when I was sick, mind you. And, I'm still sick and trying to get better. But obviously with the way that Carlton have played, you want to make sure that it's free flowing. The free kicks they pay, if not, play on. I still get confused by that, because even I don't know what the interpretations are sometimes. 1 minute they get paid, next minute they're not. So that could be the reason why. Now, look, a rivalry game, Carlton versus Collingwood, nothing gets better for both Carlton and Collingwood fans. Look, if we win, I'm definitely going to rub it in. I know I definitely will be. For my tips this week, I'll say we'll win by 18 points. I do think if we come out and play good brand of football, I do think that Carlton will try and come back. But I do think that we'll have enough damage on the scoreboard to able to fight that. So I wouldn't be surprised if we win by a big margin, but if we win by 18 points, I'm just happy to beat Carlton no matter what. So, that they are the sort of games that I love to see. As I said, talk about that rivalry, talk about the, that particular moment, like being Carlton by a point, that's the best thing, because knowing that they choked, and that we can remind them of that as well. And the rivalry is real between these two clubs and even the supporters. But to be fair, we all see that side of things as well. 16 flags to 16. We won the premiership last year, so that's something that we can brag on. And any chance that some of these people out there on social media, any chance when we have success, it gets them very jealous. So that's why, I absolutely don't mind it at all. For my predictions, look, I'll wait until the team comes out. I'll only be fair, because at this rate, I don't want to go on my predictions and people say, oh, but you said this, but this doesn't happen. So I just want to wait, and then we'll see what we can do. And then when the team comes out, then I'll do my predictions, and then I'll have my say as well as a content creator. Hope you guys liked the video. Please don't forget to drop a like and also drop a sub as well. Muchly appreciated. Thank you very much for your support in my videos. I'm glad that you guys are enjoying it. So if we can just keep that going, also it does help out the rhythm of the channel as well. And knowing the fact is that, this is a chance for me to continue to grow. Look, at some stage we all make mistakes, right? Like, we're all human beings. But there are one thing I want you guys to do. If you guys are liking my videos, please, there's only 89.3% of you guys that aren't subscribed. Can you please do me a favor? Please hit the like button and please hit the subscribe button. It definitely does help the channel grow definitely helps out, getting it all out there as well. And so I appreciate for the 10.7% of people that do watch my channel that are subscribed. But if you haven't, please hit the like button. Please hit the sub button. I really do appreciate it. Depending on how I'm feeling, if I'm better, might be able to go. If not, I'll stream the game anyway. But yeah, until next time, don't forget to drop a like and also drop a sub. Bye for now and go the Mighty Pies.